Okay, Ashley, what is this thing that you could do that doesn't require launching more ads that can increase your conversion rate by 50%? People are clicking on my ads and nobody's buying. What's the problem? You could literally make changes on today and your ads can perform better, which is what you want, right? So this is gonna be really good. That can create confusion, and when you confuse, you lose. That is a 50% increase in your business. On today's episode, we are going to talk about one thing that you could do that could change your conversion rate on your ads by over 50%. In fact, if you do this one thing, you don't have to launch any more ads, and I'm gonna break it down for you, okay? So before I break it down, I want to invite you to the Win with Paid Ads Challenge, because what I'm about to share with you is actually something that I taught my mastermind group and my Hall of Fame group, which are my two highest tier programs. And so I want to share kind of the behind the scenes of what I shared with them and the first thing that you can do to get more strategies, because you're going to love this episode. I'm biased, but I'm telling you, you're going to walk away and have tangible things that you can change today that can increase your performance. And so my hope for you is you get so many wins that you're like, okay, I got wins from that. I have to join the Win with Paid Ads Challenge. So below this YouTube or podcast video, you can click the link, join for the challenge. We do sell out of the VIP coaching room every single challenge. And so if you still see that it's available, I would absolutely encourage you to get in the room. And the reason I say that is because you will be surrounded by other 6, 7, and 8-figure entrepreneurs. And not only will you get your questions answered, but you'll also learn from the other entrepreneurs in the room about their ad strategy and their messaging and targeting and strategies. And it's going to be really powerful. So go to ashleybrock.com/challenge or click the link below this podcast or YouTube video. All right, so let's jump in. This is a behind the scenes take at actually what I taught my mastermind group this past week. And I'm going to go even deeper and share with you some little nuggets. So you're probably wondering, okay, Ashley, what is this thing that you could do that doesn't require launching more ads that can increase your conversion rate by 50%? It's your landing page. So I'm going to share with you some things about how the brain and user behavior works so that you can take all the traffic that you're actually getting already on your landing page so that it can convert better. And when I say landing page, I mean just the page on your website that people land on from your ads. That's why it's called a landing page. So they click, well, where do they land? This soft place to land is your landing page. And I have some incredible stats to share with you, because so often people are clicking on my ads and nobody's buying. What's the problem? The problem actually may not be the ads at all. It could actually just be where they land and how that experience is either conducive for conversions or actually killing your conversions. And so we're going to dive right into that. So here are 6 things that I'm going to share with you that can lead to your landing page actually performing better. And then I will just wrap up with a few stats, which are going to be really, really helpful. I added I called it a cheesy Ashley thing at the end, but it really is true. So I'm going to share that with you. And then there's a bonus at the end that you're going to love of just all these things that you could literally make changes on today and your ads could perform better, which is what you want, right? So this is going to be really good. So the first thing is instantaneous clarity. That's what you want. Instant clarity leads to higher conversions. You have 3 to 5 seconds to grab attention before somebody clicks away. And simple words are actually processed more quickly by the brain. So I want you to use 3rd grade language as much as you can, because clarity beats cleverness. And if they don't get it immediately, then they're going to be gone. I actually had a client. She actually took some really incredible branding photos of me here in Atlanta. Her name is Caitlin, and Caitlin is inside one of my programs, and she was on the coaching this week. And she said, "Hey, can you give me feedback on my website?" And I said, "Absolutely." And I actually had the group that she was a part of. I had them look at her website for about 5 seconds, and then I actually gave away a Starbucks gift card for the first person that actually could say what type of business this is. And people, when they were landing on her website and had 5 seconds to look at it, they were like, oh, she's a time management coach or a business coach or a clarity coach. And she was a photographer, which is very different from those 3 things. And I said, Caitlin, you're overcomplicating it. You're using words and lingo that just doesn't make sense for the fact that you're an Atlanta branding photographer. And that needs to be so clear instantly. If it took 5 seconds and people still didn't know what she had to offer, that can create confusion. And when you confuse, you lose. And I want you to have such clarity where someone's like, oh, this is exactly what I did. So instant clarity, higher conversions. Don't be clever, be clear. Number 2, decision fatigue is real. Like, raise your hand if you have 937,364 decisions that you have to make in a day, right? There's so many things you have to decide on. And so decision fatigue is real. People are already so overwhelmed with texts, with emails, with calls, with tabs, with to-do lists, and complex language actually leads to cognitive load. So simple, easy words prevent the brain from strain. So be simple, and it will allow people to take action more easily. Number 3, trust comes from understanding. And I already said, if you confuse, you lose. So simple language actually allows you to be interpreted as more honest, approachable, and trustworthy. It's like you're trying to sound too smart and people are like, I don't know if I trust that. Like, they're not being simple or clear. They're like trying to sound smart. Like, can you just be honest and clear? And so I want you to think about this. Never ever, you know that game? It's like never have I ever. So everybody put up your finger. Never have I ever had someone say, this website is just too clear and too simple. I hated it. No. They're like, this was amazing. It's so smooth. No one's going to complain because your website and what you have to offer was too dang clear. All right. So make sure that it is from that you are allowed to build trust from a place of understanding that they get to your website and absolutely understand exactly what you do. Number 4, it works with all audiences. So here's what I mean. The simple language that I'm talking about, that 3rd to 5th grade language, even the highest, most educated people, they use plain language when they search. Earlier, if you were listening to the episode with Katie Schwartz, she is an aerospace engineer. A phase of her life was spent building future aircrafts for like 2030 and 2040 and beyond. She is exponentially, in my opinion, more intelligent than I am because she's an aerospace engineer. Right? I'm good at ads. She's got so much more with that technology and automation. And yet Katie would absolutely go and search for best local videographer. And she'd find Robert, right? So simple language, Robert's smiling. So even the most educated people use plain language when they're making buying decisions. And here's something really, really big. If you're not listening, come back because this is huge. Emotional buying actually happens quickly. And simple words trigger emotion more quickly. And one of my coaches, that I learned from in my mastermind, she said, emotion puts people in motion. And if you want to put people in emotion so that they can be in motion, use simple language and simple verbiage. Someone said this recently. She was like, wait, Ashley, I thought you said lingo is bingo. Lingo is bingo for your industry. You can speak simply to your target audience with the lingo that's like automatic for them because that's easy. They can interpret it well. So that is still true. Number 5 is when you speak with clear 3rd grade level language, it aligns not only with the emotion and how people buy, but also how they search. So I think 4 and 5 kind of tie together. 4 is plain language actually leads to quicker buying decisions. And number 5 is it aligns with how people search. So I jumped ahead just a little bit. Basically, people Google in simple terms. And the best example, it said, if you are a fat loss coach, people would probably type in Google how to lose weight fast. They're not typing in expedite adipose reduction, right? They're not using those fancy words. They're not doing expedite. It's like get rid of this fat. That is what we were searching for. So one thing that I'm really big on is I type how I speak, and that's intentional. Because people, they skim, they don't read. And if you actually write in a way that is conducive for skimming by separating out your text, that's what I tell my clients to do. I'm like, separate out your text so that it's easy to skim, not a chunk of paragraphs. I really try to steer away from paragraphs. There's probably some places on my website where I have paragraphs, but they're short. I have a 3 to 5 sentence rule. I'm never going to do more than that because people want simple, they want quick, they want efficiency, and they skim rather than just read. And so the last one is data and proof. So it says studies actually show that content written in a 3rd grade reading level actually gets more clicks, more time on page, and more conversions. So simply reducing your language from a 9th grade level to a 3rd grade level and being so simple, so clear, and just straight up not fancy will allow you to have more time on page, more clicks, and also more conversions. So like imagine the page you're sending people to from your ads right now. What if you just updated that and reduced the language to be more simple and more clear? What if that one thing led to a change in your conversion rate? So here's what is so mind-blowing. Are you ready? If your conversion rate on your ads goes from 8% to 12%, that is a 50% increase in your business. It's not a 4% increase. It's not 8% to 12%. Oh, that's 4. It's 50%. It doubles the effectiveness of your page. That is absolutely huge. And so that is what's possible for you when you do this one thing. And it is optimize your landing page. So last few little nuggets I'll give for you, and then we'll wrap this up. So Cheesy Ashley wants to tell you that one of the reasons that people want to buy from you over everybody else. And when everybody's like, oh, AI is changing the world, it is. And also AI is not a person. And the advantage and what that means for you is that only you can deliver you in the way that you can. And so on video, you're able to connect with your audience and add value to them. And so I actually looked this up because I'm so cheesy. And I tell all my clients, I'm like, put a video on your landing page, make it customized and you. And so I actually looked it up. And there's a study that was done, and it says adding videos to a landing page, adding videos to your landing page can increase your conversion rate by 86%. And if you will actually take time to get feedback, I've trademarked my method for my messaging and actually break it down a little bit in the Win with Paid Ads Challenge for you so that you can be successful and have great messaging on not just your ads, but your emails, your landing page, your emails, everything. But if you actually deliver your message well, and can communicate well, and then you put that video on your landing page, it's game over. The way that I'm about to film with Robert later today, like a completely different version of my challenge page video so I can A/B test which video does better. That is testing, and that's me saying, hey, I know the video does well. What if we tweaked this? What if I said this instead? Those little changes can make all the difference. In fact, that's actually the whole point of this episode, is to remind you that you just changing one thing can change everything. And too many of my clients are changing everything at one time versus changing one thing at a time. And so it's really important that you take a minute and just isolate a change and just make one change on your landing page and see how that goes, especially when you're sending a high volume of traffic to your page. Many of my clients are spending, it just depends on where they're at in their business, but from anywhere from $20 or $30 a day to $200 to $300 a day to $2,000 to $3,000 a day to $20,000 a day. And so the more traffic that you're getting to your website, the more that these changes are really going to make a big difference. So last few things is sometimes the speed of your landing page is ruining everything. So like a 1 second delay in your page loading can actually decrease conversions by 7%. And 47% of users actually say that they expect a website to load in 2 seconds or less, and that 2 seconds can feel like 2 years. They didn't say that, but it's true because we're so impatient that we feel like, God, it's like 1,000, 2, 1,000. Is the page still taking that time to load? And what you don't realize is because you're cached into your own website on your phone or on your website on your actual computer, it loads quickly for you. So you're not thinking anything about it. But when someone new hits your website and you go in incognito and it's taking 4 or 5 seconds, can you imagine someone like you're paying for all these clicks to your website, but then it's taking 8 seconds to load. And so you're paying for all these clicks and you're mad at the ads, but really it's just because your page load is terrible and people are too impatient. So that's one of those things that this one nugget I just shared with you, you could go and use a page speed testing tool and actually see, crap, it's taking 7 seconds for new users. Yeah, so yeah, 80% of the people that actually you clicked on, they went to your website are actually leaving. That's why they're not buying. People devalue how big of a difference your website page speed and the actual messaging and nuances you have on your landing page and how you're communicating what you have to offer can make all the difference. So I hope that was helpful as you think about not just launching more ads, but also saying, where are the ads going now and what can I do to make them better? So I hope that was really helpful for you. And on the next episode, I'm actually going to share with you one of the reasons that people are not watching your ads past 1 second. I'm going to share with you my worst performing ad. And I'm also going to give you some guidance on exactly how you can create an ad that people actually want to watch and hang around for. So I can't wait to see you on the next episode. And don't forget, if you haven't, join the Win with Paid Ads Challenge. This is just a tiny little nugget of all the things we're going to talk about in the challenge. So I'd love to get to meet you. So click the link below or go to ashleybrock.com/challenge. I'm going to challenge you to think differently about your ads all day for 5 days. I'll see you soon.